Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the inside and outside of my underwater shark house. And I shouldn't have to tell you guys that if you want to follow this video along, you really should have the shark house built. That is the big, giant shark head that you might be able to see on the screen in front of you. If you don't have it built, good news, all you have to do is head to either the card system or the description below, and you'll find a link to a video that will show you how to make it. Honestly, it will probably take you less than half an hour to get this thing built. It isn't as complicated as it looks, and it looks awesome even without the inside and outside done. But once you have got that completed, you can come back to this video and we can crack on, because let me tell you guys, this is probably the coolest inside and outside of a house that I have ever made. It's absolutely awesome, and I have not done anything which looks like this before. It is going to look fantastic. So if you do want to make the inside and outside, remember that the link to the actual original shark tutorial is in both the card system and in the description below. This is what you're going to need to progress things along. So first of all, we're going to have to actually make the part of the shark which is underwater, which is going to contain most of the living space. So to make this, we're going to need some magenta stained clay. We'll want to grab ourselves some glowstone. We'll also want some sea lanterns. We'll also want some nether brick fence. We also need to grab some grey stained glass. That's quite important, the grey stained glass. We will also need, a little bit later on, we'll need some stuff like nether brick. And we'll need nether brick stairs, and we'll also need some nether brick slabs. And I think that we might be good for now, I think. So, you know, something that we can actually do, first of all, is you can see the shark's mouth, how it's a little bit dull looking. Well, if you want to take the top teeth, and with your glowstone, if you just want to place a glowstone like inside of the mouth, just behind the teeth, you might find that it lights it up a little bit and it makes it look a little bit more appealing. It just makes it look a little bit nicer. That's just a very quick thing that we can do right now before I forget later on. But let's talk about the actual like underground layer of the shark. And I know that this is actually hard to see, so I'll tell you what, I'll throw some glowstone around the floor of where we're going to be building this around, and this will only help us later on as well. So let's just light this up a little bit. I'm throwing loads of it around, loads of this around, just so that we can see, because that's the most important thing. So what we want to do is we want to, with our grey stained glass, we want to trace along the outside of the under part of the shark. So you see here where we have like the edges of the shark. We want to do rows of 6 grey stained glass that come down from the edges of the shark. So for instance, like the side part, we want to come down by, it's actually this block right here, where we have this light grey. We want to come down by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we want to place a glowstone underneath it, by the way, but we can do all that later. And we want to do this going all the way around the shark. So we want to trace along around the outside of the shark, and we just want to follow the shape, and we just place the glass here. We just want to follow the shape of the outer part of the shark, and we just want to have a row of 6 grey glass coming down from the outer layer of the shark. And we're going to have to maneuver around a little bit, because remember, we are underwater. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but it's definitely going to be worth it in the end. And you may find that when you come to certain parts of the shark, guys, that you can't come down by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can only come down by 5, but you'll have to destroy whatever's in the way, and you do want to have your row of 6. So we want to do this coming all the way down from the very edges of the shark, and we do want to make sure that nothing gets in the way. So destroy any obstacle that's in the way, because we can't really like change the shape of the underground layer component of this. We want to keep it very much the same. And I'm just going to delete quite a bit of sand that we have back here, just to make it a little bit easier. But remember that what we want to do is we want to have our rows of 6 glass coming all the way down from the edges of the shark. And if you place glowstone as you go around, it'll actually only help you. The lighter the area is, the easier it actually gets. Like, the more you can see, obviously, the easier things get. And we've also got to get this block down. So we just want to go all the way around the edge of the shark, and we're going to have to destroy that as as well. All the way around the edge of the shark. We'll probably have to delete some of this. I didn't anticipate all of this. I probably should have built it in a less built up area, but you do want to be able to build your shark wherever, so this is probably a good example for, you know, you've got to do quite a bit of landscaping in some of these cases. You've got to do quite a bit of landscaping. So this is what you want to do, guys. I'm not going to do this all in the tutorial with you. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to extend down all of the very edges of the shark, and remember, it's by 6 with your grey stained glass. You've got to probably destroy some blocks in the way unless you're very, very lucky, and also place glowstone underneath those 6 blocks. So I'm going to get cracking with this because it's going to take quite a while. This is one of the longer parts of this, and I'll be back once I've completed it for myself and we can take a bit of a look at this thing. We're already cracking on. We're about a third of the way done. Okay, so as you might be able to see, and I think that this is probably the best way to show you, I have now done all of the glass surrounding the outer parts of the shark. They're all raised down by 6, and I have the layer of glowstone underneath them as well. What we then have to do is we have to do a layer of magenta stained clay, or any material